This video is an extract from our weekly podcast, which is available right now on our Patreon page at patreon.com/prettygoodgaming. Or you can wait till next Wednesday when it goes live to everyone. Cheers. So let's talk about zombies then. I mean, zombie games they've just been a phenomenon. They've just been like an absolute cult, pop culture, like just flooding over pop culture like a zombie horde and just taking over everything. It's getting to the point now where it's running out of steam. Big style. I mean, the flagship zombie show, The Walking Dead, the viewership for that has plummeted. I mean, the people have just fallen off that.
Plus it was shit, sorry.
And it was boring as
Yeah.
And it just, in terms of video games, I mean, we're well beyond saturation point at this point, aren't we? There's just so many games
too much
with
zombies
in them. Early access and Kickstarter, and there's just so many of them. It's like zombie survival crafting is just such a phenomenon. There's so many games that have done.
It's like game developers get together, like, oh, we're gonna start a studio.
Yeah.
What we're gonna make?
Yeah.
Zombie crafting survival.
So obviously, like we don't even need to say that bit. Zombie survival crafting. That's it's like taken for granted. It's like, of course, where'd you go from
that's
there?
a given. Now what we're gonna put in a game?
Exactly. So okay. So with the death of George A Romero a few days ago, which was very sad, he's of course the guy behind The Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead,
Zombies as we know it.
Countless other zombie movies. Exactly, zombies as we know it. It just seems like an appropriate time, I guess, to talk about where his creation, you know, where it began all those years ago and where it is now, and is it still relevant? Is it still enjoyable? As zombies, have they been done? He himself made enough zombie products to saturate an entire medium on his own. What is it about zombies that we love so much? Why did they become so popular?
I think it's a very human threat. I think when they made Night of the Living Dead, the idea that the dead can come back is scary. Your loved ones that have gone are back, and they want to kill you.
Yeah, and they're not themselves.
And they're not who you recognise. I mean, there's a lot of fear from stuff like that. Traditionally, in horror, things are like the creature feature was big before zombies. The monsters were monsters. This is a very human threat.
Yeah.
They've got the strength of a human. They are humans, essentially. Because zombies have been around for like hundreds of years in voodoo culture. Well, that is what a zombie is in real.
It's a bit more of a
folklore,
walking coma type thing, isn't
exactly.
it?
Well, the idea of eating brains and you need to shoot them in the head and walking like that
Flesh-eating
is
in
from
general.
George A. And that's what we know as zombies,
Yeah,
right?
that's zombies as we know them, and that's maybe why they've become so popular. Call of Duty is the biggest video game franchise there is. It's going to be authentic, boots on the ground, real combat, you guys. It's going to be so authentic, so realistic. But it's got zombies in it. It's got Nazi zombies in it. They can't not do it because people still want it. And the trailer leaked yesterday, and it looked very good. It looked like Dead Space.
You can only
scary.
hypothesize as to what is so attractive about zombies in Call of Duty. Now, one thing that I thought that it might be is that, you know, with a zombie, you shoot in the head and it's going down. It's not a bullet sponge.
Yeah.
It explodes. It's satisfying. It's a satisfying kill when you kill a zombie. Whereas I've heard criticisms of the most recent Call of Duty where the bullet sponges, like you can't, you know, you just sat behind cover trying to kill these guys and they're just coming at you. Whereas, you know, you don't get the problem with the zombie.
Yeah.
Well, one shot in the head and it's dead. So that's satisfying knowledge, knowing you shoot it once, it's
know
going down.
how to kill them. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's ingrained in you. You know, it's like, you know, wooden stake through the heart kills a vampire or whatever. And then everyone knows instinctively to do that when you're playing zombie games and stuff. That's where you take them down. Also, they're incredibly guilt-free. They're already dead. They want to kill you,
true.
And they're not humans. So it's all right to slice them up with a samurai sword in a game like You can do whatever you want to them. You can mow them down with lawnmowers in Dead Rising. You can stick, you know, trip them up with gumball machines, and when they're on the floor, you can cut them up with a chainsaw or whatever. It's because they're zombies, because they're corpses and they're evil corpses that want to kill you. You're not disrespecting them because they want to kill you. They want to eat your face.
Yeah, true. But when you think about Nazis,
also Nazis, just doubled up.
Yeah, exactly.
You've got no mercy.
You've got no problem issue with that at all.
Yeah. So there's two reasons there for why are they in so many games. You know exactly what to do with them. You headshot them, and you don't have to feel bad about doing messed up shit to them with different kinds of weapons in a game like Dead Rising, which goes out of its way to give you all kinds of fun stuff to use against zombies, right? The zombie is there as like a target that is easy to take down, but they've done a lot of different things with them. They've told all kinds of elaborate stories, emotional stories. They've gone places with zombies in them in video games that no other game has ever achieved. I'm thinking about games like The Last of Us and The Walking Dead Season 1, which I'm not a huge fan of personally, but it's still widely regarded as a great bit of video game storytelling, and it's all about zombies. Just asking you guys then, what's your favourite implementation of zombies? What is your favourite zombie game? What's the best game that's used a zombie and done something creative with it and that you've enjoyed?
There's too many.
There's a lot, isn't there?
I remember when I was a kid on the SNES, I played Zombies Ate My Neighbors, and it's scary. That's the first game I can remember with zombies.
That sounds like 1960s as hell, that though. Zombies ate my neighbors.
It was actually a pretty scary game. They were kind of goofy looking. Then like 1996 Resident Evil. That's one of the classics. House of the Dead,
of course,
another big one for the arcade.
Yeah, light guns type stuff. The way that the zombie has been morphed, The Last of Us was very creative with it, where they actually used a real life fungus from the Amazon or whatever, affects ants and stuff.
Yeah.
But they just kind of had fun with that and applied it to humans.
Cordyceps, is that right?
Yeah, exactly. So you've got like wild 28 Days Later kind of running at you zombies, but you've also got the fungus growing out of their face clickers, which are terrifying. Are they zombies?
I think
it's the same thing with Days Gone as well. They're not categorically zombies.
What zombies do?
They're definitely zombies, though, aren't they?
Yeah,
they have to be zombies. Yeah. They're all zombies.
They're basically like, it's a disease or a demonic possession or whatever it is.
Yeah.
They're using humans, dead humans, as hosts.
Yeah.
To me, that categorizes as a zombie.
Yeah.
I think what's so amazing about zombie games when they're not about the zombies, what I mean is they are such a good crutch. The Last of Us, an amazing story about people with zombies as a crutch. The Walking Dead, an amazing story with zombies as a crutch. Days Gone looks like it's focused more on the gritty survival of the man. I don't know. My favorite zombie game would be The Walking Dead Season 1, probably.
Okay.
But
because of the story there.
Because of the story.
Some would argue that it's not, in fact, a game at all. But the story is so good that
you're saying it's not a game.
So, all right, some would say that. Some
instead of trashing on some of our favorite games, why not just tell us what your favorite zombie game is?
My favorite zombie game is Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare.
Is that
because
classed as a game?
Well, okay,
is that just DLC?
It's okay.
You know what I mean?
All right. Okay.
If we're getting shirty,
if we're gonna be,
I earn that. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, then State of Decay, because when State of Decay rolled out, that was pre-survival crafting zombies. That was pre the flood of zombie titles, and that was the first time I felt a lot of freedom, and I had a little base, and there was people out there in this town. They'd shut themselves away in their own little bases, and I could go there. I could help them out. You're weighing up all these options. It was so much freedom involved. All this was dynamic. That was great fun, and that was the first time I'd ever experienced anything like that, and it's been ripped off God knows how many times since.
Can we talk about why zombies are so appealing? And I've got a little theory on this. It's like apocalyptic type world where your primal instincts are what's going to get you through. There's very few humans left, and you're faced with this horde of brainless zombies. There's that primal survival instinct that you don't get in regular society. So that question that everyone else asks, isn't it, is what is the first thing you would do if you were faced in a zombie apocalypse? What would you do? Because you're thinking about surviving. It's that's the zombie allure, I guess.
Initially, is like, what would you do? How would you react to this situation?
But you're talking about State of Decay, right? And you're talking about these little communities that you go into, and you you get a shotgun, and it's like that survival aspect of it is like, oh, I've found something that's going to increase my survival chances, or I found a group that's going to help me. It's all to do with that primal instinct of survival.
When did you get burnt out on zombies?
This is an interesting one, because I think that we're not. We just think we are.
Right. So when was the last time you played a game that had zombies in it that you were thinking, this is amazing? I feel like
I played The Last of Us a couple of years ago.
And The Last of Us
is
Days Gone's upcoming, and I'm really looking forward to that.
You're really excited for Days Gone?
I'm with Jake. I don't think we're burnt out on zombies. I think it's great to have in the background while you're telling the story. It's a great platform for telling a story.
It's the crutch, isn't it? There's so much shite. We all know it's shite, and we haven't played it. You know, what I mean? It's like there's all these Steam Green Light
so
zombies.
Diluted, isn't it?
We hear about them. DayZ from 2012 was the start of this all, but that's the only one I played.
There's a whole zombie game scene that is just eroding. Yeah. It's just falling apart as people are losing interest in it, and they're becoming things like PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, because it's a completely different scenario with similar rules.
That the fun isn't the zombies. That's the thing with DayZ. They've just gone like, oh, this game's good without the zombies.
It's the same survival scenario, but there's no zombies.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Announced the Battlegrounds. They're going to have zombies in it. There was a solid eye roll from me. I've got to be said. It's they don't have to zombie out of everything. When you kind of think about it and you look at some gameplay where people were modded it to look like they're playing zombies.
Well, they were playing as the zombies.
Yeah, it looked really interesting again, because that survival instinct kicks in, and you've got how the do I get out of this situation? I think we are a little bit bored of it, but at the same time, it's still exciting.
Right.
Yeah, they can be done right. It's that the thing. When people say zombies, you just immediately go, oh, it's like they've just gone for the zombies.
Yeah.
Like I'm saying, most of the best games I ever played, like Resident Evil, it's a weird one, because whenever someone says zombie mode, it's like, ugh. But then whenever I'm playing it, I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you think about a regular mode on Call of Duty, I'd be but zombies I'm interested in playing.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
the opposite for me for Call of Duty.
Well, World at War had the zombie mode. The first one, it was a real real good. Like, it was so good that they made it a staple in the series. And it was only supposed to be a one-off. New trailer that leaked. It's like,
right,
horror, scary.
Yeah. So that was kind of going to be my final point. They're not scary. Zombies are not scary anymore. I can't remember the last time I was scared of zombies. Like, I felt like I was under a lot of pressure. It might have been Resident Evil 4, I guess, when there's situations in that where you're like boarding up the house, like you're pushing wardrobes in front of doors and stuff like that to stop them coming in, which is amazing, right? That is really good stuff, really desperate, like, you know, a scary scenario to be in. I think games that kind of creep me out are games that I'm a big fan of, like Dead Space and stuff like that, because I'm a huge like sci-fi fan. So that just kind of takes zombie to a whole new level where it's like just mashed up flesh, and you never would describe it as a zombie, but it's still mindless monsters that just want to destroy you. And
from humans, right? Well, they came from humans.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's a reanimated corpse.
It's just biological material. So that's a lot more of a sci-fi kind of idea. When was the last time you were scared by zombies?
Well, it matters how the zombies behave, though, doesn't it? You think about State of Decay. I wasn't scared 1 minute in State of Decay.
Yeah, exactly.
Because them zombies, they just like mill around, and they're like, you can shoot me if you want.
Yeah.
Or like whatever. Or there's lots of other games. It all depends on the behavior and like how fast they are, what they're going to do to you, how many of them there are. It all depends on that, I think.
What they do in games like State of Decay is they'll add one that's big, and it'll like do a big roar that you can hear from the distance, and that'll be like, what's that? And you might get that kind of feeling. You go in there and it's a big nest full of zombies. That's probably as close as it gets in a game like that.
But you look at the trailer from last year of Days Gone, where there's a huge shitload of zombies and they're running at you so fast. There's a huge horde, and like you're taking them down. Yeah, and they're all falling as you're shooting. They look scary as
And that's something we haven't seen, really, is it?
Yeah,
yet,
and it looks really great.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, Jakey. When was the last time you were scared?
I don't know, really. In The Last of Us, there's a couple of tight scenes in the sewers.
Yeah, totally.
And you've got to rely on your hearing, which I think is pretty interesting. And they can run fast, you know.
Yeah.
And I like that, obviously, you've got like the clickers who can't see, but they can hear.
They're basically
so conscious about your
well.
sound. Pretty scary. I guess the last time I was properly scared, though, like, Resident Evil 4?
Yeah, this is
terrifying.
Yeah.
That's what scares me, you know. I'm anxious. What scares me is having 5 bullets and seeing 10 people. That scares me. That's where my fear lies. Like, I don't, jump scares don't bother me. It's like the anxiety. And zombies have that pressure. Days Gone, hordes of zombies. So much zombies it looks like a liquid because like they're flowing and falling. That's terrifying to me. That's you know.
It does look scary.
Okay, so that's zombies thoroughly digested. It's something that is just going to keep going, isn't it? Zombies will always be a part of like popular culture. It's got so much steam in it. You can already see people doing creative things like Days Gone, where they're just changing the rules, adding a lot more zombies that come at you in a wave, things like that. That'll just keep it moving forward for a little while at least. George A Romero, R.I.P. I guess.
What a legacy to leave behind.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks a lot for watching this podcast extract. Remember to like the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you want to see a new gaming video from us every single day, and remember to check out Patreon if you want the full podcast right now. See you next time.